What up, what up, what up, what up, everybody? It's your boy Stefan. It's your boy Steph, otherwise known as one half of your favorite tag team, the Top Rope Boys. Sadly, my favorite tag team partner in the world is out today, but don't worry, don't fret. I got my guy filling in. Frequent guest. This isn't his first rodeo, you feel me? It's it, it's my guy, man. I don't know what else to say. Y'all been showing him love, so we brought him back. Luckily enough, he was able to come through and clutch in. My guy, Sears, how you feeling today, man?
Good. How you, my guy?
Chilling, living, you know. Oh, wait, real quick. Let me not forget my little spiel real quick. As always, I am the EST of the DMV, the Chocolate City Saint, the left hand of destruction, the Cameroonian nightmare. Yeah, that's all. That's all for today. You that's all for today. But it's been a wild, wild week in the world of the squared circle. A lot has gone on today. And before we get into everything, real quick, I do want to say, just on behalf of the both of us, hey, Liv Morgan, we wishing you a speedy recovery, sis. That's all we gotta say. But with that being said, you want to get into last week's SmackDown because we are recording this on the Friday.
Yeah, so
All right. So we start off with my guy, the GOAT, my GOAT. My goat, Jonathan Cena from Newbury, Massachusetts. He starts off the show, and I'm not gonna lie, man. The heel promos, they've majority of them have been hits. There have been some that, by continuity standards, don't really make all that much sense, but for the most part, they've been pretty solid. However, I think this promo is the one where it's like, okay, I can kind of see the motivation behind his heel turn. I can kind of start to see him more fleshing out that side of the character and things like that. However, I just wish that he wasn't doing this 6 months into his retirement tour or 3 months since the heel turn because the turn was in March, right? Yeah.
mhm.
So he's coming out. He's doing this whole thing where he's like, "Oh, I've masterminded this whole thing. I knew that Cody was gonna have his attention towards The Rock at Elimination Chamber. I decided to enter the Rumble. Didn't really care, so I let Jey Uso win it. I stacked it all up so that way I could be the ultimate mastermind and take this title home with me at the end of the day. I was the one that put. First of all, this is the most annoying thing ever. If he's going by Ron Killing, stop calling him R-Truth. It invalidates the return. But
Mhm.
he's going on saying, I'm the one that put R-Truth in the main event. I'm the one that made him relevant, blah, 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 blah. I don't know. Overall, what did you think of Cena's promo? We can talk about the rest after, but so far, what did you think of Cena's promo?
Yeah, honestly, I agree. It wasn't his best moment as a heel. It kind of like discredits like everything he's done since everything hasn't done since like Jey Uso's rise, essentially. Like it discredits
Yeah,
him winning the Rumble. It discredits him winning WrestleMania. It discredits Ron Killing's return. It discredits so much, and it's kind of infuriating.
it is in the sense of it. It undercuts a lot of things going on to just see like, oh, this is the mastermind going on here. When it's like, bro, let's be so for real. There's so much that happened that couldn't have been it, but I'm kind of fine with it because it helps give it helps give motivation. It helps really show the mind of heel Cena and things like that. And honestly, I've been saying this for the past couple weeks now. Cena's just been having to make lemonade out of lemons, so this I feel like this is just
Hmm.
another thing in that pile. But we got Cody coming out, and this is the first time they've seen each other since Cena took the L at Money in the Bank. Cody was talking about, oh, I'm the one that
Hmm.
pinned you. This isn't your plan. This is my plan. Blah 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 blah. And then here's where things get interesting. We finally see Randy for the first time since Backlash. Now we knew he was coming, but we did not expect him to run into Cena. Now I don't know about you, but I was getting the little shades of '09. How that man was talking, saying, "Look, I'm gonna do whatever it takes to get 15. I don't care who I
Hmm.
gotta go through. Cody, you like a brother to me, but I will dog walk you. And that's when I was like, oh, the Viper may really be back. The Viper may really be back.
Army thinks like the leading towards like him betraying Cody at some point, or, like Tony
Yeah,
healing Cody. Cause like I don't know, like I don't know, we're gonna talk about this later, but like King of the Wings means is setting up to be Orton versus Rhodes.
yeah. It's setting up to look that way. Um, it's definitely one of those things where I can see, yeah, like I feel like the writing is on the wall there. Just like you said, I think Randy is gonna turn on Cody, and I think that's gonna set up what happens for the championship picture, like after John leaves.
Hmm.
So I think overall, it's nice to see. First of all, it was just nice to see Randy back in general, but it's one of those things where
Hmm.
we're starting to lay the seeds for his motivation moving into 2026. And and then LA Knight came out and he started referencing the "We Want LA Knight" hashtags and chants and everything like that. And when he said, "I know you wanted LA Knight," I was like, "Brother, you know good and well that wasn't what we meant. We meant we wanted you to win Money in the Bank." But whatever. Um, he came out and LA Knight is one of those dudes that, in my opinion, is underrated on the mic because there are very few people who can stand in a promo battle with Cena. And the fact that he was able to, he called him a balding bitch. That was funny. That that was just hilarious. And the fact that he was able to stand toe to toe, like in my mind, like I thought it was cool. Now, mind you, I've said this before. You've heard me say this in past episodes. Like, I think that Cena has been low blowing with the has been not low blowing, but he's been soft punching with the promos recently. Like the fact that we haven't gotten this fine speech yet this
Hmm.
year, oh, it annoys me so much. But I still think it's a testament
Hmm.
knowing that he was able to get so over when you're standing in the ring with Cody Rhodes, the face of the company, John Cena, the all-time face of the company, and then Randy. Like it says a lot when you're able to stand out and have moments like that. But overall,
Honestly, yeah, honestly,
go ahead.
I was just gonna say we've been seeing that since for years now, since his rivalry with Roy Reigns Tribal Chief won him back
Yeah.
soon. But like he's been on fire, but like I'm honestly surprised we haven't gotten anything with LA Knight and Cena yet, just due to the fact that like last time we saw Cena before his heel one, he was teaming with LA Knight against the Bloodline.
Yeah. They never touched on the fact that the two of them were former tag partners.
Yeah, and like and Cena was like putting him over, like raising his
Yeah.
arm, like presenting him as like a fan favorite that he is now. So I'm surprised it's not. I would hope they could go into it at some point in this Cena in this year. I would like to see Cena start putting over younger talents, not like driving the belt to them, but more so like having these promos with them and building them up to be like, hey guys, these people are here.
Yeah, I think it's definitely one of those things where fully I'm with you in the fact that I want him to start giving the rub to younger talent. And the fact that we haven't had another segment between him and Carmelo is insane.
Hmm.
Insane. Because
Hmm.
one of Cena's like big things before the heel turn, and he talked about it in his post conference after the Rumble, I think. He was like, I want to shake the hand of the guy that's gonna win 18 championships. I don't want this heel turn to dilute from that because that's going to be one of the biggest. That's going to be like one of the biggest parts of this retirement tour, in my opinion. Watching and seeing who he thinks is going to end up having more than him. And honestly, out of all the young guys on the record right on the roster right now, I could see Carmelo like doing it if he was booked better. There's so much of an uphill climb that there's going to have to be
Hmm.
in terms of booking and things like that. But in terms of just years left in their career, I could see him doing that. And obviously, I mean like main roster talent because if we wanted to talk younger, we could talk like a Javon or something like that. But you get the point.
hmm Yeah. Like a come out like a Hayes, Waco, like
Mm,
at the way this year is going, because we're already in pretty much the end of June. We don't
yeah,
we're in the teens of appearances. Like well, at this rate, I don't know how we get to Cena working with other talent. So like I love the CM Punk match. I love the CM Punk story. Love
I
this
can't
rivalry.
wait. Can't wait.
I'm a CM Punk guy. I love what he did with Orton. We're gonna get back to Cody Rhodes at some point. Like it's
Hmm.
inevitable. But like I'm waiting. Like at what point do we get those like interactions with like Hayes? We're probably not gonna give a break at this point because he's in with Seth Rollins now. And
Yeah,
like
if we were to get like a Breaker, it'd probably be a segment where he's talking to Seth and Breaker just happens to be there.
yeah, and like yeah, he only mentioned Seth not catching in on him, so like we already know that's not happening. So like part of me it's like wanting a bit more, like more than just like the like Cena's last hoo but like at the same
Mm.
time, hoo
Nah, I feel you. I think the coolest part of this segment was the fact that they had Ron Killings, because again, like I said earlier, calling him his former name undercuts the whole character change. They had Ron
Okay.
Killings show up and basically start mollywopping Cena from behind, and it was very funny, very dope. But I saw, and I gotta give credit to Before the Bell, and I think that there's so much evidence now that I'm looking back at everything since Killing's return. Um, if he was doing character work in terms of Ron Killings and R-Truth are two separate personalities in his mind, it would make so much sense for the entirety of the character's history. It's so simple and right there that it it makes the utmost sense. But I love the character work that Ron is doing since he's been back because the new look, his whole I'm driving the boat now, things like that. And the fact that now they're setting up for a rematch between the two of them literally today. Um, man, yeah, we haven't had you on the pod since Ron came back, but what have you been thinking
hmm
about everything going on recently? What did you think about how he interacted last week?
I love it. I like I hope this leads to something more for One Killing rather than just like a one-off like a revenge match with Cena.
Yeah.
I love the aggressive side. Like this is giving me like TNA like One Killings, you
Oh, for
know,
sure.
like early TNA, like early like NWA World Champion One Killings
Yeah.
vibes.
Nah, I
So
feel that for
like
sure, for sure.
I love it. I love the character. I just hope it's not like a one-off thing. Like kind of like what Cena been doing this whole time. I hope it's not just like, okay, he did the same with Cena, and now One Killings is done until he leaves.
Mhm.
Like, give him like give him like a make or title. Give him something to work with. Like, don't just
Bro,
like put him. Don't leave him catering after this.
even if they want, bro, if they wanted to run Awesome Truth back, because let's be honest, Melo has to turn on Miz at some point. If they wanted to run Awesome Truth
hmm
back, I would love it, especially with this version of his character. Oh, the potential is there.
I don't know if they want Austin shoot back this soon after they just broke up, like what last year, if that. But like,
Yeah.
I can potentially see him like winning like the IC or US title, depending on like what happens. Like I can see like a Dirty Dom him being Dirty Dom. I
I
don't
can
see him
see that.
being I don't see him being fought too. I can see him being solo or someone else
I
on the line.
Yeah, I could see that. Ooh. So they're teasing the Jacob and Damian feud. They're kind of starting to lay the groundwork for that. Imagine if Damian wins the belt off him, then you already have a built-in feud for Ron to go after the U.S. title with. Think
Damian
about it.
Priest.
Yeah, because think about it. The same dude that was trying to kick Ron out the Judgment Day clubhouse and was telling him the whole time, all for basically a whole year straight, we do not rock with you back when he was in the Judgment Day. Now that he's finally bossed up,
Hmm.
got on his serious tip, and he sees Damian with the championship, what other way to get the one up on him and to show that Ron Killings is truly driving now than by taking it off Damian? The person who
But
probably
I thought
on the go ahead.
I was I can see that, but like I thought they ended on good terms.
They ended
But I don't
on
think
good
buddy
terms.
buddy.
Yeah, like they ended on good terms. Yes. But however, I think going back to the whole, if they're playing into the multi-personality, like flip the switch part, Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde kind of thing, there's always the cop out there.
Hmm.
But
I can see
again,
it.
it's a bit of a reach. I'll give you that. But I feel like I feel like there's potential there if we want to really solidify his character work and his run with like a mid card title or something like that.
Hmm.
However, um,
Yeah. Like
getting back,
yeah.
yeah. Speaking of title shots, we had our King of the Ring qualifier. We had Randy, we had LA Knight, we had Mello, and we had your man. We had your boy Alistair. I'm not gonna lie, when it came down to this match, I was just happy that Mello didn't take the pin. That was really it.
Hmm.
I knew how it was gonna go
I
as
thought it
soon
was
as they
like
go ahead.
like go ahead.
No, I said I knew how it was gonna go as soon as they showed the bracket and everything. I was just like, okay, we obviously know Randy's going. I just wanted this to be a fun match for real.
Hmm. I could have seen LA Knight already on winning before last 2 months. Was it 2 months ago? 2 months ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, 2 months ago. But when they first announced the bracket, I could have seen LA Knight all on winning.
Hmm.
I thought it was a great match overall. It was like it was obviously like chemistry with all four of them been great. They tease like they tease like oh like Ash Black versus Ray Orton match. I would love.
Oh, oh, that would
Uh,
be great.
but like but like I knew like after Braun Breaker got caused losing in the match because of LA Knight, I knew Orton was gonna win. So I'm thankful that they took the pen
Hmm.
because it makes sense story wise.
Yeah. Um, Speaking of storylines, and we had talked about LA Knight. Do we think that we get LA and Seth Night of Champions? Do we think that gets made official either tonight or Monday?
I think with like the rumors of him going to Raw, I think it's like a matter of time. I think
Hmm.
honestly, I can see it happening at Night of Champions. I can also see it happening at SummerSlam. But I think
Yeah.
Night of Champ because that's a money match. You have Seth freaking Rollins and LA Knight, two of the most popular people in the company.
Yeah.
That's
That's
that's being starting money right there.
yeah. Yeah, it definitely is. Um, all right. Real quick, right after the Randy, LA, Mello, and Alistair match, we had Jade Cargill, Michin, Nia Jax, and Piper Niven go up for the Queen of the Ring qualifier. Again, this is another match where it was like the only person who I could have seen other than Jade winning this was Nia.
Hmm. I didn't
Like
even see her winning.
the only reason I didn't see her winning is because she literally won it last year.
Yeah, yeah, I agree with that 100%.
Ugh. It, and the thing is that it sucks because like I think Piper is first of all Piper's senton bomb. Oh, it's smooth like
Hmm.
butter. I think I think she's great at that move. And I think Michin deserves a lot more respect on her name in terms of her in ring work. But it's just like dang, that's kind of like the what's the word I'm looking for? That's kind of the overarching theme of this week in terms of WWE content for me. Everything was predictable. the writing was on the wall
Hmm.
for a lot of things going on that happened this week. However,
Yeah,
one thing that did kind of surprise me that I wanted to actually real quick before I get into that, what did you think of the Queen of the Ring match overall? Because I'm sure,
I think it was a good match. I think overall it was a solid match. I think it put Peyton Nivens in a good light. I think it put Michin in a good light. I mean, Jay Cordell winning it was a gimme at that point. Like you didn't have any less than really competitive though. And
yeah,
like honestly, my pick to win it all is going to probably be Jay Cordell, just due to like who like needing like before she got injured, she was set up for a push.
uh-huh.
She about to get pushed.
Yeah,
I think
bro,
this does it.
they need to put the rocket on her, dog. Like the way how I think her being Queen Jade would hit, and also it would make sense storyline wise and help progress things a whole lot more. Um, but yeah, overall I think that the Queen of the Ring qualifier, I think the Queen of the Ring honestly is going to come down to Oscar versus Jade. I think that's going to be the end match right there.
Don't they do they not play wrestle on Monday? I thought the back is set up so like the no Jade who's Jade's wrestling in the
Jade's
next round.
wrestling Roxanne.
Ooh, that's gonna be a good match, I think. I think that has potential to be a great match. Is it happening tonight?
That's happening Monday, I think.
Ooh, Monday's gonna be okay, that's gonna be a good match. Yeah, I can
Yeah,
see Jade versus Asuka. Yeah, I def I can see that basically do the other SmackDown match that happened. I can see it.
yeah. Besides, if I think based off of what happened on Monday, the trajectory that they're going to take Roxanne's character, it would make sense to have Jade win the match against her on Monday and have Jade progress to be Queen of the Ring. But I'll talk
Hmm.
about that once we get to Raw. Um, dude, so in turn, we finally got the Wyatt Six's first match back after them progressing this whole storyline since their return of we're gonna take over the tag division. And dude, I it's so sad to say this because I'm a Wyatt Six fan. They had less pop than DIY throughout the whole match. I like now. Do we think it's a thing of like obviously we've heard as wrestling fans the whole thing of like oh wrestlers don't really want to work with supernatural gimmicks like that. It's hard to get supernatural gimmicks over and things like that. But what do you think is the disconnect between this group and getting over? Because aside from everyone pulling out their phones for the intro throughout the whole match. It was like dead silent.
Yeah. Uh, I think it's just like we're not in. It's hard to get anything like supernatural over in this day and age. I feel like because like we
Uh-huh.
just know so much about the company. Like no, we know so much about the industry, right? Like think about it.
Yeah.
Back when Undertaker and Mankind and Kane were all like the Attitude and beyond, like when before that
Uh-huh.
was like okay, people don't really know that this is scripted. So like the
Yeah.
characters, they it, they felt more real. Like
Uh-huh.
people actually thought the Undertaker was actually an Undertaker, a dead man. Like people actually thought that Kane was the Undertaker's brother that was left in a burning house. Like we know that the Riot Six is actually just a bunch of random people besides Bray Wyatt's old stable mate and his younger brother.
Yeah.
And it also doesn't help that like none of them have really been over before the Wyatt Six. So they're just running on the legacy that is Bray Wyatt at this point.
Yeah.
And like
I think the only person
cut.
right now that could truly get over Solo is probably Nikki Cross.
Yeah, I mean she she done some good she done a lot more with a lot less. I mean we have Nikki ASH, was
Oh
it?
my God. Don't
The super
remind me.
the
We really
superhero
let her
that
we really
win
let her
Money in the
be a Money
Bank
in the Bank winner. Yeah.
and cash in to win the belt. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, that happened. So like
brother.
I agree.
Oh my God. The things that, because that was like one of Vince's last years, right? The things that he was doing then made no fucking sense.
Was that the Otis heel as well? Was that the year that Otis won the briefcase?
No, the oldest year was the Oscar year.
What year was Nikki?
Nick, let me double check. Oh my God. The fact that I just thought of that was insane.
Yeah, like I think at this point, the white six, I mean, like
2021.
2021, that was
Yeah.
what was that, Drew McIntyre?
I believe no, because Drew wasn't a two-time Money in the Bank, right? Because he won.
Biggie.
Yeah, that was Biggie.
Yeah.
But no, oh my God, that yeah, yeah.
Like I think
Uh,
like out I think like look at Alex Black. Like I know I'm like Campbell. I'm a big fan of Alex Black, but like he leans into Supernational, but he's not just Supernational. Like that's not his
yeah,
full character. He's a badass who can kick your skull in. Like
I think
you just don't feel that with this group.
that's fair. I think when it comes down to the why it's there's so much that can be told if given the right story. I'm excited to see how this progresses, but it is off to a shaky start real quick. Um, I do
I
want to.
I do like the fact that the building up like the like I'm getting like 2000 like the old 2000 SmackDown tag team division wives
Oh yeah,
with like this group like them working together and
the
like
segments are hilarious.
I like this. I like the story. I like the segments. It's just like the match in itself are like no energy.
Yeah, it's like what Reek would say probably if he was here. He would say the bell has to ring at some point.
Hmm.
Um, so speaking of the supernatural, let's talk about Alexa, Charlotte, Alba, and Candice. Oh my. Well, actually, no. This one wasn't so much writing on the wall because they definitely could have given it to Charlotte. I do think this finish was a great finish. I think that
Hmm.
it was incredibly creative. However, it does have me questioning a couple of things storyline wise. But um, having Alexa had Alba in the no, yeah, Alexa had Alba and the sister Abigail, and then Candace was in the figure eight, or I might have that switched. Who was in what? But the fact that they had those both at the same time, but it was just Alexa had gotten hers pinned, had shoulders down first. Oh, that we've had a. I'm not gonna lie. In terms of creative finishes this week, the women have been killing it because there's a match in NXT that had a super creative finish I want to talk about later on.
Hmm.
But what you think of the match?
I mean, um, I think I said on like on the podcast before, but I'm a big Alexa fan. You know, I'm happy that she's dancing. So definitely over Charlotte. I'm happy to hear that I'm just like, giving Charlotte like another thing for her resume.
Yeah,
Like I am curious about like, where this leads. Like are they like they're definitely gonna do Alyssa Bliss versus Charlotte at some point. That's a given. When I don't
yeah.
know. But like do they lean towards the supernatural aspect of Alyssa Bliss and make like and kind of do like what Bray Wyatt would done to do? Do they just have a straight up match? I'm
I'm not.
I would like to
I'm
see a
not.
straight up match.
I'm not gonna lie. I would like to see a straight up match as well. However, I do think that if we book, I don't think it happens in Night of Champions. I think it could definitely happen at SummerSlam. But as much as I said I want it to be a straight up match, have it be revealed at the end of the SummerSlam match that she's uh co-leading with Uncle Howdy with the Y6.
Hmm.
I think that's a way to not also just get them over, but it literally makes the most sense character wise.
Yeah. Yeah, for Alexa Bliss it does. I can see it happening at SummerSlam just because that's two nights and like it's flat. Like it's nearly a month away. So
Yeah.
like I like I don't know. I think it's gonna be a good match no matter what. And I'm intrigued for it. But like as far as Alexa Bliss winning this match,
If Alexa didn't, uh, if Alexa didn't win, like if Alexa didn't win, I would only be fine with it if they are setting up a trilogy of matches, because
mhm,
there's no way, like there's no way that with everything that's been set up and how Alexa's character plays out, that they just instantly hand Charlotte the win. However, Charlotte has not been getting dubs a lot recently. So I feel like if they're saving the dub for her for the big match, I get it. I understand it. But real quick. I want to talk about Cody, Shinsuke, Damian, and Andrade in the main event. They're queen of the ring, they're king of the ring qualifier. Again, just another match that like if you put Cody and King in the ring, we know he's taking the whole thing. It
mhm.
it it doesn't like I think King of the Ring has got to be one of those things where it's got to be all mid carders. The same way how I feel like the Money in the Bank, unless like a storyline desperately needs it, like King of Money in the Bank should be all mid carders. Like there should be no one that's like a consistent main eventer in the King of the Ring tournament because the it takes out the unpredictability factor. But I do love I did actually really like this match. I think Shinsuke Shinsuke must have heard people say that his US title reign was trash because he was kind of balling. He was kind of balling during this match.
I don't know like what his deal is with his contract. But, like I'm really surprised that he's like still going 100% like this, and like it was a good performance on his.
It definitely was. Um oh wait, man, what am I thinking? Andrade. Oh, Andrade had to come back and like put up some solid numbers because after we see you on live television get hit in the balls with a ladder, which they talked about and they referenced in the commentary, almost got Wade Barrett fired because my man couldn't figure out what he was trying to say. Yeah, because Joe Tessitore couldn't figure out what he was trying to say with that. Oh my God, that was so funny. But overall, really dope. And then we know Cody and Damian, whenever they cross paths, they have a good chemistry. If you've seen their Ring of Honor matches, like they work well together. Yeah, I just really wish that the finish wasn't so predictable. That's literally my only critique of this match.
Yeah, that's my whole critique is the fourth round. Pretty much is it's we knew who was winning all these matches. Now that we're in like the
Yeah.
quarter, like the semis, and like wrapping it up or the quarterfinals, I'm intrigued of where they go. So yeah, like they have multiple storyline options still at this point.
Most
Like,
most
do they
definitely.
go with do they go with Sami Zayn winning and doing a Daniel Bryan type of one? Do they go with Cody Rhodes getting his revenge match with Mania? Do they give Orton the one last thing he needs on his resume and we get another Cena versus Orton
Oh,
match? Who
oh
knows?
yeah. Randy has never been king in the ring, has he?
Nope, that's the last thing on his list.
No. All right. So overall, I think overall when it comes to SmackDown last week, I think it was cool. I can understand if folks say that there was a lot of filler there, but I think it was entertaining enough to like not have me like it was entertaining enough that I was actually invested in the stories going on. I was actually we kind of like I kind of overshadowed it with our Wyatt conversation, but the MCMG Wyatt match, like aside from the aside from the fact that there was just no pop, crowd was dead. It's a really good technical match. I thought the finish for the Alexa Charlotte Queen of the Ring qualifier was dope. I think it was solid in terms of match quality. In terms of overall pushing stories, it was hit or miss because some were pushed well, some weren't. We talked about and well, oh wait. Was did Punk come out or am I
He
tweaking?
did. He
Yes.
he did. We had a second Cena promo, and then Punk came
Uh,
out, and then Wong Killing attacked him again.
yes, which leads me to believe that we're gonna get a recreation of the pipe bomb because if you remember the setup and the context behind the pipe bomb moment, it was literally
Mm-hmm.
during uh an R Truth Cena moment
It was
where
match.
yeah, where Killings had put Cena through a table and then literally he sits down, gives the pipe bomb, and we all know what happens because we're wrestling fans and yeah, it's one of the best promos ever. Um,
Iconic. Yeah.
bro, if we get a recreation of that, like I understand that Cena did not want his retirement tour to be a greatest hits run, but this is what we needed. I'm fine with this type of greatest hits. I'm fine with homages. I don't want like I don't want just like the same five moves of doom every match, which to be honest, at this point, because if I see him hit someone with a belt one more fucking time, maybe I'm gonna start asking for the five moves of doom over again back. But I it's things like that that are slowly keeping me invested in the heel scene around. Go ahead.
Yeah. Like at this point, like it kind of became a nostalgia act he when his rivalry with Orton happened, but like so soon. But like anything about it, like we had Orton, we had Ron Killings, we have Ron Killings, we have Punk. I wouldn't be
Mm.
surprised if we get a Miz at some point, like a
Oh,
Miz, a Sheamus, like
oh, we
Rey
need a couple of
Mysterio, even
those.
Rey Mysterio, even like,
I'm
but like
begging. I'm begging for Ray to come back. Get your lick back. Every week I see Ray go viral because of how John did him dirty. Anyway,
hmm
what-
like part of me was confused about why he came out again. Like, well, we could have just like had like all four of them in the same, like all five of them in the ring.
yeah,
Honestly, I don't even think LA Knight was really needed, just because definitely since he was losing that match. That's the fact.
no, no, but it
Like,
was fun.
it was fun, and hopefully it sets something up for the future. But like the second promo put me off. Like, I'm like, did you really need that? Did you really need to be out there for the first promo? I don't know.
Uh, anyway, real quick, let's go ahead, pay some bills, and then we'll come back and we'll talk about a little bit more about what's going on in the square circle. We'll see y'all in a bit.
200 don't feel the fast no more. Mama, I ain't scared to crash no more. I just been leaning on glass food. Hoping that this
One. All right, everybody. So they ain't cut off our electricity. We paid our bills. So we back. Back with my man Sears and Steers. Now we got a lot of champions going on. We got a lot of champions going on, whether it be in companies like WWE, AEW, TNA, so on and so forth. I want to know out of all the champions that are holding gold right now, who are some of the champions that you would like to see defend more?
Well, from WWE, I like to see Io Sky defend more. I feel like she just dropped from the face of the earth since WrestleMania. Like,
Bro,
what is he doing?
how do you put on a five-star banger like that with Rhea and Bianca come out on top, and
Hmm
you don't have a list of with we get all these transfers, we get all these call-ups, and no one has faced her yet except for in tag matches, you know?
Has he defended since WrestleMania?
Um, I think the tag matches with Roxy and Julia was after WrestleMania.
Yeah, but has she defended?
Oh, has she defended the title? No.
Well, damn.
Yeah.
Like,
So it's going on like 2 months of no defense.
yeah, like at this point, you're discounting that whole match. Like, what was the point of her winning if you got nothing for her? Like,
Yeah.
who, make something for your champion. Like, that's like, like you said, you have the talent on there. Like, build something. Like, another
Um,
one, let's see. Trying to think of all the champions. There's a lot of them right now. Josh, the CEO from AEW. One,
yeah, Yeah,
She
I can't
is
hear you.
all what 6 books now.
Yep,
Like
that's Monet's six belts. We're gonna talk about that later. But that's Monet's six belts.
when they 6 belts, yeah, she needs to start defending like 5 of those belts. Like
Yeah. It seems
at
like
this
she
point,
grabs them and then those belts aren't to be seen in their promotions for about a year.
she's like Thanos. Like
Bro. Look, we love our CEO. That's six belts, Monet. Monet six belts, whatever you want, whatever we decide to call her. But it at least defend the TBF title. Like that's all I ask. I can't remember the last
yeah,
time she defended the TBS title.
I can't either. Honestly, like
Oh man. Um. Now they had a defense relative. No, they had actually. Yeah, let me go with this one. There was someone I was gonna say, but extenuating circumstances, they can't really defend right now. But there was a there was a defense of the New Day a couple weeks ago against the Creed brothers and the War Raiders,
mhm.
right? Yeah, they had
Yep.
that triple threat. They had that triple threat match where they slimed out the Creed brothers, and like it was cool. But before that defense, they hadn't defended since Mania either. They're we see the New Day every week, whether it be segments, commentary,
hmm
whatever, and they barely defend.
hmm
You would think for probably one of the biggest uh names in Raw's tag division, mind you, I can't think of a positive thing we've said on this podcast about Raw's tag division since we started it, other than when the New Day won. But I think one of the problems that can be fixed is if you have your champions constantly defend or consistently defend.
Yeah, I mean that's what we saw in the SmackDown division. We had like 5 matches in a span of like 2 months, 5 title matches in a span of 2 months.
Yeah,
Like,
and one of them is probably going to end up being going down as a classic.
oh yeah, for sure. Like, I don't know, like the New Day is a great team, but like, who else? Who's with them? Like, you don't have a reliable opponent for them. I feel like, and
This
again,
is
it's
why
yeah.
I think we gotta bring back. I think we gotta visit the penitentiary just a little bit. You gotta.
I think that's what we lead to at this point. I mean,
Yeah.
we know Jay is not winning the King of the Ring, but like, really, you should be building up your tag division, like the New Czech Republic. Like, where are
Oh,
they at? You
bro,
know,
they're
like,
doing main event matches.
yeah,
They
all
got
main
they
event.
got they got Tyler Bate and Pete Dunne doing main event matches. Oh my God. Anyway,
Like, you put Sheamus to someone. Like, I'm gonna love this rivalry with Sheamus and Rusev that we're gonna talk about in a
oh
little bit. But like,
yeah,
put them together. But them at a tag team, like, hello, that could be a dangerous tag team right there.
that would
Like,
be that would be an extremely dangerous tag team.
you don't have it. Like, the thing is, you don't have a face team that's like good face. You know,
Yeah,
they have the New Day as heroes.
they need a good face. Yeah,
Viking Raiders are fun, but they're not like the team to face a New Day. Like, you need the Usos, you need some. Oh, you need like you need the Usos or the build like bring
bro.
in a
Or
face team.
if the if the rumors are true and private parties going over there, I'm sorry, go straight to Raw. Go straight to Raw. If
hmm
private parties coming from AEW, go straight to Raw. Go figure it out. Or they keep teasing the Lucha Bros whenever they have Penta do some of the backstage segments. I'm sorry, Phoenix. I love you on SmackDown. Go to Raw.
I
Go to
mean,
Raw.
I think Ray Phoenix needs. I mean, like he wasn't just as hot as Penta was. I think he put him with his brother, make him and give us some dream matches, some banger matches for the New Day, and
Yeah,
make them the new face of the division. Like
yeah.
that hits
That could
that
go
like
crazy.
that accomplished so many things. Like it's what you need to do at this point.
In terms of on the women's side of things, going back to someone who hasn't defended in a little minute. Tiffany Stratton. I know she was the last match against Nia defense or
Yeah, it was a couple. Wasn't that like last month?
yeah. But I think it's just the fact of actually okay, extracting Tiffany Stratton. Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez have only had one defense in their fourth reign.
Yeah, no,
And
about to
that
make sense.
and and that was the NXT. And mind you, I'm not gonna lie. I don't think they're gonna vacate. I think we're gonna see Roxanne fill in.
Hmm.
However, I could fully be wrong. So take this with a grain of salt. Let's say that they have Roxanne fill in. I expect for her and Raquel to be I would want them to be consistently defending champions because heading into Evolution, we need to build up Roxanne's character on the main roster as being dominant because as of right now, if I'm remember correctly, I might need to go back and check Cage Match. Roxanne has she's had some wins, but mostly L's since the hitting main roster. Um,
Hmm.
so yeah, and this goes back to what I was saying earlier about Queen of the Ring. If they have her fill in for if they have her fill in for Liv, not only does it push the Judgment Day story, and plus it like everyone's been asking for the Judgment Day to have some sort of dominance if they're not going to, if they're not gonna if they're not gonna fully like just break up like they've been teasing for and laying seeds down for the longest.
Hmm.
We know that Meechin and BFAB have been looking at the women's tag titles. Put on three put on three matches, have Meechin and BFAB win one to set up the dominance, have Raquel and Roxanne come out on the other side. It's just I feel like the story's there. The story's
Yeah.
there. It sets up yeah.
Hmm. I mean, they have the teams. Like, I mean, even after the recent cut, like the cuts from like last month, they have the teams for it. Like,
Yeah.
you have the the secret horses,
Secret Hermes.
horses. So, thank you. You have them. You have any a combination of damage control, probably like Asuka and Io Sky. They're healthy now. Like,
Yeah.
you get like they have a couple of teams down in TNA. Like like the women's tag division can be successful if they give it time to build and actually defend the titles. Part of me wants them to just say, "We tried. It's time to retire them." Like at this point, if they're not going to start defending, they might as well just retire them.
Yeah. Yeah. Which it suck. It would suck because literally
Hmm.
those belts have been around for God, how long now? I know it hasn't been too long.
It was since Mania, I think. Like before
Yeah.
Mania.
Oh man, that suck.
Yeah, it
But
would.
no, I completely get where you're coming from.
You know what you should do?
What?
Go, but use your partnership with TNA and
Oh my.
build that and use some of the tag teams to build up the women's division, like
Bro,
tag
or
division.
literally, because I was thinking the same thing, just other side of the partnership. Dallas and Chica Tormenta. Come on. Hey,
Hmm. Yes, like the
y'all put on a banger tag match at Worlds Collide. Let's run it back.
hmm but if you have teams, just use them. You know, like. But speaking of tag teams, another team. I don't know how much more you want to put on this topic, but
No,
another
go
team I
ahead.
feel like having defending the titles. The men's tag team down tag champs in TNA. I don't even know what they're called.
Whoa. The Nemesis.
The is that what they're called?
Yep, they're calling them the Nemesis.
The two big boys.
Oh, that's NXT, bro. Tank and Tank.
Yeah. Oh, my bad. And yeah, my bad. TN NXT. My bad.
No.
Yeah,
At this point, I get it. NXT and TNA might as well be one and the same at this point. But
NXT. Yeah, but yeah,
exactly.
NXT tag champs. Like
But no,
they won it at
they want to stand and
uh
deliver.
standing level, and I don't know if they defended since.
I think they may have had one defense against Josh and Amora.
Didn't he just come back though? 'Cause, like, didn't he get away? He went away before they won. Didn't he just come back? Like I feel like I have
No,
not seen the film at all.
Inamura, uh, Inamura left 2 weeks before Battlegrounds, which was after Hank and Tank had won it. Hank and Tank helped Josh Briggs at Battlegrounds. Then Inamura came back. So yeah, I think they have had one defense. It was just after that defense, Inamura said, "I'm gonna go to Japan," and then was gone for 2 weeks just to come back.
Hmm.
Which, speaking of which, there's so much about this Briggs and Inamura story that does not make sense to me. But I will talk about that when we get to NXT because oh my, that
Yeah.
yeah, I feel like you already know where I'm going with this, but yes. Um,
Hmm.
real real quick, I think this is gonna be my last one on this topic. If you have another, please feel free. But my last one on this is gonna be give Selena a new person to defend against. And when I mean
Yes.
defend, I don't mean defend as in just hand the belt off to. Because I know who's lurking, I see who's lurking. I want her to win it eventually. However, if you want to make Selena's reign actually be built up and hold any weight, she needs to fight people other than just the Secret Hervis and Chelsea Green.
Hmm.
Literally, you
Which
go ahead.
based off of last Friday's show, I think she might be looking for a fight tonight.
I can definitely see that happen. I
I don't
can
know.
definitely see that
Don't know
happening.
the match.
The match isn't confirmed, but I can see that happening based off of the promos that Selena had sent, I think last Saturday.
Hmm.
Yo, mind you, you know me. I'm a huge Selena fan. Selena called Julia run around like a dog and he that is hilarious. Yeah, or something like that. I think no, I think she said I'm not chasing after no bitch. I was like, oh, yo, that's hilarious. Um, but no, I think this Selena and Julia feud could go crazy. I think that it could be like a real good mid card feud to one, not just help solidify Selena's reign, but also to help elevate the belt because
Hmm.
Chelsea Chelsea did wonders for the belt in terms of character work, in terms of making it feel important, blah 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 blah. Now
Hmm.
it's time for us to go above and beyond with that, especially
Hmm.
heading into SummerSlam, knowing that it's basically in Selena's hometown. She's from the Bronx. It's Jersey, right across the bridge, things like that.
Hmm.
Um, yeah, like I honestly I would not be surprised if we got a non-title match tonight. We got a first title match at Night of Champions next week. And then we got the official title change either at Evolution or at SummerSlam.
Okay, hold on. Keep in mind that Night Champions is in Saudi Arabia,
Oh, yeah, yeah.
so like
They're probably not having
you're giving them a lot of credit for having a lot of women matches happening stuff.
yeah, I was about to say they're probably not we gotta we'll be lucky if we get one women's match on the card.
Push back your matches a little bit. I think we
Yeah,
get a fight
okay.
tonight.
We get a fight
We get
tonight.
a match next 2 weeks. We
Uh-huh.
see the title change happen at Evolution. We match happen at SummerSlam, or vice versa.
Oh, I can see that. I can definitely see
She's
that.
a, she's I think honestly I think I would before her actually defending it at Evolution, really attacking her post match or whatever to set up a
Uh-huh.
rematch at SummerSlam. That's when
Yeah,
Julia wins it.
I'm not mad at that because not only does it allow Julia to win on the big stage, it allows for
Hmm.
Selena to defend her. Yeah, that actually makes a lot of sense.
Hmm.
And I think at that point, Selena's reign will have hit at least a little over 100 days, which we know
Yeah.
now all of a sudden everyone wants to hit for their championship goal. So yeah, I'm not mad at that.
Hmm.
Um, are there any other champions you want to talk about before?
Nope.
Oh, wait,
Oh,
hey, since we're speaking of champions, I know I didn't bring up any of the AEW champions. That's because there's too many. They have a championship for everything over there.
yeah. Yeah. It actually, well, there actually is one, two.
Go
Kenny
ahead,
Omega and what's his face?
Kenny Okada.
Okada. the fact that they haven't defended each other, they haven't defended it much until
Mm,
they're facing each other at all in for both belts to unify the belts infuriates me. Like, what
yeah.
was the point? To me, it seems like you spent all that money developing that, like making these belts all the time, like with these belts for no reason besides to. I feel like at some point they were going to unify them. Like,
Oh,
uh,
the long term plan was definitely unify it.
wait, oh, let's wait until we get to AEW stuff. I'm about to go off.
Oh my God. There's a lot to talk about there. But real quick, before we move into our Raw recap, I do want to say he has been consistently defending. However, John Moxley, can you wear the belts? Can you walk around with the belts? Can you take it out the briefcase? Oh my God.
I can't even think of what the belt looks like at this point.
Mind you, their flagship championship. Can't even
Hmm.
remember. Oh my God. Anyway, let's get into Raw, man. So we started off again, like we said earlier. Please, Liv Morgan, we're wishing you the best, speedy recovery. But I don't even want to like talk about this segment because I know that it's probably gonna get scrapped now. But we t Liv Morgan came out and was like, "Hey, Nikki Bella, we gonna have to run the ones at some point." Um, after all that talk you was talking last week, this is my division, blah 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 blah. And I'm not gonna lie, I was really excited to see them run the ones. I have been saying for the longest that it's gonna be Liv and Raquel versus the Bella Twins. Now I don't. Well, I know how they're probably gonna pivot for Liv and Raquel's sake. I don't know if the Bella Twins beef still stands.
I think it does. I think this just confirms the fact. I think we just went from having a 99% probability of the Bellas winning the titles to a 100% probability that the Bella Twins win the titles.
If they win them at Evolution, will I be mad? No, because yes, the Bellas have a sort of they have a prestige. However, and this is nothing to discredit the Bellas because they are a product of the era that they were in. They were they worked for their time. And mind you, I
Mhm.
know I say this as a man, so I look like the demon right now. I apologize, but there's no way in God, there's no way on God's green earth you're gonna tell on Beyonce's internet you're gonna tell me that the Bella Twins could defend against someone like the Kabuki Warriors.
Yeah,
There's no, there's no way, bro. There's no way. Oh my God. Like, I could believe AJ, Trish, Michelle McCool. I think I'm going back a little farther than the Divas there now when I say Michelle McCool. But like, I could I could believe that the three of those, I could believe that someone like them could defend and hang. But I don't know.
hmm.
Maybe I don't know, man. I whatever.
Okay, so keep in mind, the last time we saw Brie Bella, didn't she injure someone like bad?
Yeah, yeah,
Like,
yeah.
was it wasn't it Liv Morgan?
Let me double check. Let me double check before we just put this out in the air.
Like, I remember like her having a match and like something in a bar shopping that injured someone, and she was doing a lot of like crap for it.
Yeah, yeah. Uh, she gave Liv a concussion.
Yep, yep. So like, I don't know if we should. I don't know. Like, I agree with you. I think the Belgians were great for their time, and they helped usher in the women's division,
Hmm.
and should rightfully should be in the Hall of Fame, which they could
Yeah,
afford. Yeah,
yeah. They've been in the Hall of Fame since like 2021, I think. So
yeah,
completely deserved.
yeah. But like, do I want to see Nikki Bella back full time? No. Do I want to see them defend the titles if they can put on a good show?
You know what? I'm kind of yeah. I'm probably that is a more concise version of what I was trying to get to. That's essentially what. Yeah. Um, but after that, we had Stephanie Becker. I I'm sorry. We were just talking about the Bellas. I'm thinking about how Nikki butchered Stephanie's name. Um, we're talking about Stephanie Becker, uh, Raquel Rodriguez, Ivy Nile, and a returning, a returning Empress of Tomorrow, Asuka. Ooh, man, Asuka. I'm just happy Asuka's back, bro. Like there.
Hmm.
Oh, and that little sequence that she had with Stephanie, we could have had that be a 15-minute match. They need to run the one solo.
Okay, I think Oscar winning the match was like the one surprise event I had from this tournament for the first time.
Really, I thought that it's her first match back. Granted, yes, the WWE fans know Asuka. She's cemented. Like she's gonna end up being a Hall of Famer, I think. But
Yes.
I think that it's just simple. Unless you're Kyrie saying and something happens, like what happened, like we saw a couple weeks back with her return. Unless some extenuating circumstances happen to establish your character to make you the dominant, we're probably going to give you a win on return.
Yeah, but also like Stephanie McHale has been so hot and so oval, and I know this means
Mhm.
nothing to WWE, given how they recently treated some of the stars. But like, but like, how you? I don't know. But I feel like she would have been a shoe-in for me, at least for me.
Oh no, no, no.
Imagine we would have gotten Alexa Bliss versus Stephanie McHale, I think. Oh my
Oh,
God. That would have
that
been vile.
yeah, yeah, that would have been crazy. No, I see what you mean. Like, I definitely. Here's the thing. I can see her. Oh, if they keep this momentum up, Stephanie would probably be my vote for Queen in the Ring next year.
Oh, for sure. If not Royal Rumble.
Yeah. Oh my God. Whenever she does that point to the 2026, oh, that's gonna
Hmm.
be an amazing moment. Anyway,
But with
uh-huh.
that said, I've been thinking about it. Asuka came back with a darker persona, it seems like. She like dyed her hair,
Yeah.
not like the pink green. Like well, not like she wasn't.
Came back with the OG theme too.
Hmm. What if what if she turns on Io Scott and we get Io Scott with Asuka?
Book it. Book the match. That's my money. I'll
And
pay.
she wins. She wins Queen of the Ring. She is the match at SummerSlam. That actually file.
Hey, I'm gonna let you know right now. Book it. Book it. I'm with whatever. I'm sorry. When it comes to the Queen of the Ring tournament right now, there are so many ways that they could go about it, and I'm with whatever.
Hmm.
Oh, I'm I think you could probably tell this from the other matches we talked about throughout this tournament, but I am so much more interested in Queen of the Rings, not even just based off what it could mean from a story potential.
Hmm.
Oh my God. I think there's a lot that could go on there. However, um speaking of story potential that has had me not so excited. So we have Gunther come out, his first promo since winning the belt. Um Again, and then it was all respect, all the respect in the world to Goldberg. However, I think his last match should have been the one with the Fiend.
Yeah, I agree.
Oh my God, what do we need this for? This was unnecessary. There's so many, bro. Rusev, Sheamus. There are so many other people that that Gunther could defend against. Bro, you
Hmm.
had, mind you, he didn't have the belt then, but Gunther was defending. I'm not defending. Gunther was fighting Pat McAfee, and it seems like right now we have two. We have two. Uh, we have two opponents after really big moments in Gunther's career, where I'm just sitting here like, what made y'all think of these matchups? The Pat match at Backlash, and now this. Granted, I was waiting for this to be done because of the storyline it had laid down. We're finally putting a bow on it.
Hmm.
I completely get it. However, I'm sorry, Goldberg. Your last match, in my opinion, should have been the Fiend match. I think that was the
Yes.
last time you. Also, if you look at the match times for, if you look at the match times for Goldberg, if this doesn't open Saturday night's main event, oh no, oh no,
Steph, I hate to break it to you. They're in Atlanta.
it's gonna be the
He
main event.
and he's from Goldsboro from Atlanta.
It's gonna be the main event.
Yeah. Hmm. And they only announced it at the last match. So we already
It's
know he's
fine.
losing.
Again, I say this with all respect because I do not want anyone to think that I dislike Goldberg because I don't know him as a human being. However, I think in terms of planning, this is some bullshit. Um, oh my God. Ugh. Hey man, the match is gonna
Yeah.
start because what time did they have to end that Saturday night's main event? They have to end at like 10:30, right? Be
Sure.
because of network TV. So they have to end somewhere around there so that way they can get ready for SNL. The match is gonna start at 10:27. The match is gonna be done 10:29.
So like honestly, it might be Suno because I think they might give him a moment after the match on
Mm.
L. But like, what if he wins and he just retires and vacates the belt? He was like the whole Gunther winning the belt would be so pointless. I don't think it's
Cheers,
gonna
don't piss
happen.
don't piss me off. Don't piss me off. I think because here's the thing. We already gave Jey Uso the Jeff Hardy treatment. Like
Hmm.
then apparently if you consider the rumors, this was already this was always planned to be a short reign, which all right, I guess, whatever. Um, so you mean to tell me that your plan was to, as a one last hurrah, give this man the belt? Oh, oh my God, the way I would crash out. The way I would crash out. Now, granted, I
And
have been saying that things have been predictable lately. This would be unexpected. Anyway, go ahead.
like, I mean, I don't know. Like, I wouldn't be shocked if they do that. But like, at this point, I thought Sammy was gonna win King of the Ring. Now I'm not sure. With Cody and with Randy on winning.
Yeah.
And I thought that like they gave Gunther the belt back. The only saving grace that I have of Jey Uso losing the title was the fact that I thought, oh, they're gonna push Sami Zayn now, give him a minute SummerSlam, on to have him be casted on. We get the Summer of Rollins, Zayn's Y2 triumphant at WrestleMania. I thought that would have been the saving grace. Now I'm questioning it. Now I'm just questioning one, why did this match need a world title? Like, why? Because like you already have the issue of like the like what happened months ago.
Mm.
Why does why does Gunter versus Goldberg need the world title?
It doesn't. This could have just been a showcase match.
Yeah, I agree. It could have been like a it could have been the main event for IKO. I don't care. It could have been the main event of sorry, not main event at and just so hey, we got personal beef. Let's just beat the crap out of each other so I
Yeah.
can have one last good match. You don't need a world title. We only know he's gonna lose.
Yeah. Um, so speaking of titles, we had Bailey give her segment after running up on Becky last week. She said, "Yo, I'm back. I'm coming for what's mine. I'm doing this on behalf of the fans." Becky comes out and says the fans turned on me. You're fine playing second fiddle. I'm always fine playing number one. And they finally have a title match set for next week. What do you think about
Mhm.
that?
Part of me thinks that well, I love it. I mean, I think it's a good match to help build the credibility of the IC title, and
Mhm.
I think interference is gonna happen. I don't
Yeah,
think
I
we
think
get a
Lyra's
clean,
gonna interfere.
and I think we get a triple threat match at Evolution.
Not mad at that at all.
Like,
Um, yeah, I don't know. Like, I know that it's eventually gonna build to a triple threat. I just, yeah, yeah. This felt like a random title match, to be very honest. But hey, if it's gonna end in DQ, who's to blame?
yeah, I think there's more to the story than just a tag match a week
And,
later.
yeah, and I'm just happy that we got Bailey back because she gave a good ass promo, and as always, she really does represent, and she really does kind of encapsulate the heart and soul of the fans whenever she's on
Hmm.
the mic.
I
But
agree.
real quick, lastly, let's talk about this King of the Ring match. Rusev, Sheamus, Bronson, and Jey Uso. Even saying it out loud, it does not make sense to me. But go ahead, Sears, you got it.
Where to start with this? Well, first of all, I'm upset that they announced who the mystery opponent was.
Yeah.
The a couple days before the match even occurred. Like, let it
I
have been a
thought it was gonna be
surprise.
Ilya.
I thought so too. I would have loved it with him. But after Jey Uso lost the title, we had to
Mhm.
expect it. I love the fact that they're actually giving Rusev something to do.
Yeah.
Rusev was the champion got to go hard. Oh
Bro,
my God.
the sequence of the two of them just knocking the ever loving shit out of each other, I loved it.
And oh dude, it's gonna be so great to see it. And I'm hoping I hope it at least go back to SummerSlam, but it's got the file. Oh my
Bro.
God. Watching me not winning, not a surprise. Like, I think him and Ronald not gonna do anything singles wise for a little bit. I
Mhm.
would so he, I feel like Jey Uso was gonna win no matter what. As soon as his name was
Mhm.
announced, the same fourth person, he was winning. The match was alright. The match was good, but again, not surprised.
I think Jay just felt incredibly out of place, bro. Like that's really like it
Yeah.
could have been big meaty men, stuffing meat, whatever Big E said. That's what we needed. And we got it in spurts. But hey, we could have needed
Hmm.
like ah could have been could have been a real spectacle for real. But real quick, any last minute thoughts on all of what happened in Raw before we move on?
I will say that this last Fatal 4-Way match was the only qualifying match that I feel like late book that and the Alexa Bliss Charlotte match. Well, those two are the only ones that actually built more than just a thing just for the tournament. Like they actually built rivalries that go on afterwards.
Because we
Like,
had the LA interference, we had Penta
mhm,
show up. It felt like everyone was coming. We had Cody show up. That was we yeah.
yeah, hmm,
Everyone showed up willing to everyone showed up willing and was ready to work, which hey, I can't be mad at.
yeah.
All right. Oh, real quick, there is one last thing before we go pay some bills. Um, I'm not sure if you saw the segment of the New Day where Xavier Woods was looking like a pimp named Slickback, and
Hmm.
he was talking to Grayson Waller. Bro, just make the split happen already. Make the split happen. Do it.
Yeah.
Because,
It's giving AEW vibes of how long it's taking.
yeah, and also it's a matter of fact of like, bro, I thought they would have split literally at Vengeance Day. I thought
Hmm.
Grayson Waller was gonna low blow Theory. Theory was gonna turn babyface. and that was going to lead into how they showed up on Raw because they hadn't had their first match on Raw since then. Now we're getting we're getting Theory chance during all of his main event matches,
Hmm.
but yet that storyline is barely getting any TV time except for backstage segments. And real quick, I do want to say I'm finally happy that we're going to get C Carry and Cross Wrestle because I think that
Thank God.
they are losing his momentum by just
Yes.
having him in these backstage segments when you are literally making so much money off of his merch that you had to move it from the WWE shop to actually being sold on in the arenas. That's that's really all I gotta say. JD and AJ should have won a little bit longer, but who am I to say? Uh, let's go pay some bills, and then we'll come back with the rest of this week in wrestling.
To tell them that the jig is up. Set applying pressure makes it diamond. I feel fucking stuck. Be serenity or serendipity. My thoughts been left to run amok. Like my dog, fresh out of pound. I'm feeling fucking rough. Pocket short, rifle in the woods. I'm trying to.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we back. The bills have been paid. They ain't cut our water off. You feel me? Chef Sean has been cooking down at that PC, hasn't he? He he been whipping up. It's Chef Boyardee, you feel me? It's Chef Shauna D, you feel me? Anyway, this week on NXT, we had four Evolution qualifiers, right? To get us to the Fatal Four Way. That'll happen next week. That'll happen next week, which will lead into whoever will be JC Jane's opponent on Tuesday. We had a contract signing. It was a lot, man. It was a lot. But let's
Mhm.
start off with Thea Hale and Jada Parker. Miss Parker, Miss Parker, Miss Parker. Anyway, my bad. You know that's a jam. Anyway, Thea Hale and Jada. I'm not gonna lie. I've been really liking this reimagining, this more serious side of Thea's character for real.
Okay. Like, I saw that she had potential, but I feel like Chasey was kind of holding her back due to how funny, like how silly it was.
Yeah.
Now that she's being more serious about it, I'm loving this, and I think she has a vital feature now because of it.
Mm. Same. The only thing is that like I'm not gonna say I was rooting for her during this match because I root for everybody. You feel me? Juneteenth just passed.
Hmm.
Anyway, but I do think I was talking to you earlier about creative finishes, and I think that props to whoever put the finish for this match together because I think the false tap out was a way to not only just make her well, actually I can't even say it made Jada look strong for sure. It made Jada look smarter in terms of ring IQ. But it was kind of crazy that like Jada's been bullying on Thea Hale for like weeks. I'm not gonna lie, I thought that this was gonna be her get back moment because Thea has yet to win a match against her since their little tiff that started, right?
Hmm.
So I was like, dang, there's no get back. Jada's still on top, which I ain't mad at. Shout out, shout out, shout out. But like I I'm waiting to see like how long this story will go between the two of them and how long this feud is gonna go because I I can't see Jada making it past the four way. So if it ends up being the two of them um battling it out and just having like a personal feud of like, oh, you've
Hmm.
just been a dick. I just got back. Like, what are we doing? And this sets up a match at Great American Bash. I'm with it.
Yeah. No, I agree. I think that's exactly what's gonna happen. They love to have interference in fatal four ways. We've been seeing it with the King, Queen of the Ring tournaments, quarterfinals.
Mm.
They love to have interference, at least one of the competitors. So I wouldn't be shocked if Thea Hale came in and caused Nick Pac the match.
Yeah. I I'm rooting for Thea. That little firecracker. I was rooting for her during the stand and deliver ladder match. I was like, okay, I can see it if this is how they like
I
brought
thought
her
she was
back.
gonna win.
Oh man. You know what? Yeah, speaking of people who are also in that ladder match, we had Zarya, who was in that ladder match, go up against Izzy Dame of the Culling for another
Hmm.
qualifier. Um, if I'm Tatum Paxley, I would run because Zarya looked like she was about to beat that little girl ass, bro. After costing her the match, like you said, they
Like,
love interference.
yeah, they do. But it protects us all. I mean, it's already haven't been doing much on the single side of things, but so like I was unfortunate. I like all. I want her to win,
Hmm.
but like it protects all.
Yeah. Also, we were talking earlier about the tag women's tag champ defenses.
Mm-hmm.
I would not mind seeing I still believe that Roxanne's gonna fill in for Liv. I wouldn't mind seeing Roxanne and Raquel defend the belts against Zarya and Soluka.
I love it. I'm also a
Yeah.
wicked fan. We know this. Like, give her another belt.
You want her to be three belt soul?
Better than six belts. Three's a max.
Three Mac. I mean, that is what
Hmm.
Kenny had during his belt collector run. So yeah, I'm not mad at that.
That's what the Miz had back in the teens. Chris Jericho
Yeah,
had three belts with the World Tag, the WWE Tag, and the US title.
I forgot that Chris Jericho had three
I'm fine
belts.
with it.
Um. Oh, now let's talk about Kehlani Jordan and Lash Legend. And we talk about people that need protection right now. I think that Kehlani needs protection, bro. She is the first women's North American champion, and yet it seems like ever since she lost the belt, it's been no motion for my girl, Kehlani.
Hmm.
It's like it
Yeah, I don't
because it
know.
feels.
I don't know where the momentum went, but like,
Shout out to the homie Sosa because I feel like I was talking about this with him earlier or a couple days ago actually. And he said that she's the female Wesley in the sense that like they both had this crazy momentum with their careers. They had the belts, and then something happened to their character, whether it be a loss of a belt, whether it be a change in look, whether it be a heel turn or whatever. And ever since then, there has been no way to capitalize it. And now it's like they're too overdue to actually get called up. So it seems like they're overstaying their welcome at NXT, and they're
hmm
trying to find new ground for these people, but there is none. And I
hmm
think when it comes to Kaylani, bro, she could go crazy on SmackDown.
Yeah, I agree.
However, Lash Leslie got the dub. You feel me? Shout out Lash. Oh, I've been, bro. Fun fact. Let me peel back the curtain for all y'all listening. I have been annoying the shit and blowing up the shit out of Sirius' phone in our little group chat. Cause every time Lash don't get a dub, I'll be mad. I'll be talking, I'll be yapping, I'll be if there was a number one for
Any
the Lash Legend fan club.
if it was anything last legend for context, he loves to give a shit about anything. NX, NXT, TNA, he's blowing it up.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Because not only do we support black women around here, and Lash Legend is one of ah, shout out. Shout out Lash Legend. Um, speaking of Lash, let's talk about her paramour, Trick Williams. He had a match with AJ Francis, his first match back in NXT in God knows how long. Um,
Hmm.
and Wesley, shout out Wes. It was the three of them up against Elijah, Josh Briggs, and Inamura. Um, Was I the only one surprised by the finish?
Nope. Of all six men, how is Trick gonna take the fall?
The fact that Inamura pin trick, I in the back of my mind, the first thing I thought was there's no way they just made Inamura a contender for the TNA title.
Hmm.
And again, going back to what I said earlier, when we were talking about Hank Tank's defenses. I have no idea where this Josh Briggs and Inamura story is going because,
Hmm.
mind you, I understand Josh Briggs is a super senior when it comes to NXT. He's been there for a brick, but um, having Inamura get the pin and then hand the title shot to Briggs, does that not feel like some white savior shit? Does it not feel like Indiana Jones and and, oh my God, I'm thinking in short round. This just not like I was watching this and I was like, there's no way that this monster from Noah just got relegated to white man sidekick.
Yeah, I don't know what's happening with that, but like, I still believe that trick took the fall.
No, for real. I honestly I thought that it was either gonna be West or AJ. Speaking of AJ, the fact that he tricked the whole crowd into thinking he was gonna do the dive, funniest
Hmm.
moments I've seen in NXT in a while. That was hilarious.
I I agree. That cracked me.
Bro. And shout out to Muscle Man Malcolm. I was watching his interview with AJ Francis literally like a couple hours before we got on here. And bro, like when he said, "Oh, there's no way I'm doing the dive unless it's at WrestleMania." I can't blame you. I cannot blame him. I I'm not gonna lie. I think I might be one of the few people that's liking AJ Francis's work with Casey Navarro for First Class. Shout out First Class. Shout out First Class. I I like what they're doing over there. I like.
Hon-
Oh, go ahead.
Honestly, he's been on fire even before Falls Class. Like his one with the digital championship, I think what it was.
Yeah,
He's been really entertaining. His work with Joe Henry, he's been really fun to watch.
he's one of those people that I think has grown since leaving the WWE, and now like we've seen people come back like and get the real like homecoming welcome. Like we saw how
Hmm.
it was how the pop was when Elijah showed up. I'm not gonna lie, AJ
Hmm.
Loki kind of deserved that. Now, granted, did I think it was crazy last week when he ran up on Briggs and Inamura and said that he was running the NXT locker room? Brother, I remember when you were in NXT. You weren't really running the locker room, but
Yeah.
sure, sure. For the sake of the story, I get it. Cool. But yeah, it's one of those things where it's like to see the evolution in character, like it's real dope to see. It really is. However, because we made jokes about this earlier about this being NXT TNA, we've got everyone and their mother from TNA back to NXT. When are we getting the Nemesis? When are we getting Nick Nemeth specifically? I don't care about Ryan. Give me Nick Nemeth.
Honestly, hear me out. I
Uh,
think at some point we see people from TNA win titles, win a title from NXT.
I think that's coming soon.
I think it comes soon with the Nemesis winning the tag titles.
That is actually a perfect way to do it. That's perfect. That's perfect. I'm not mad at that at all. And then yeah, yeah, and then they can have like one match with the Hardys because they have beef right now, and then and then the
Hmm.
Hardys can go have their final main roster run that, oh my God, we needs to happen. But
Hmm. I agree.
yeah, overall though, this six-man tag match was really, really fun. Out of all the like,
Yeah,
out of all the multi-man tag matches that happened this week, I think this is
there's been a
probably my
lot.
favorite. Yeah,
Yeah, I agree.
because oh my God, we're gonna talk about some multi-man tag matches.
Don't get me started. I know exactly where you're going with that stuff.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. We gonna talk about that in a bit, but just know it had me. I was confused, just confused. Um, real quick though, rounding out NXT. Let's talk about Jordan Grace going up against Lola Vice. Lola Vice is someone who has grown on me recently. Like I've never been a
Oh
huge
yeah.
fan of hers, but between the Worlds Collide match and this match, Lola, I think, has grown significantly in terms of
Hmm.
in-ring. The character work, we haven't really had much chances of it being shown there, but in terms of in-ring, I think she's finally adapting from coming from a combat sports perspective, because I think she was MMA or UFC beforehand and is now adjusting to like the WWE style. So I like that.
Yeah.
Um, although the best thing to come out of this match was Jordan Grace taking the screenshot of her getting of her basically getting a stink face from Lola. I don't know what Lola calls it, I forget. But
Hmm.
and going, I I'm and going, I won twice this week. That was hilarious.
Honestly, Jordan Grace is such a heel on social media. Like, oh my
I
God, she's a menace on social media.
I highly suggest that to everyone listening. If you are not following Jordan Grace, please do. You will love it.
Definitely on X. Oh, she's so funny on X.
Oh, so funny.
But
But
like, I agree. Laura
go ahead.
Woods has been like really like and this has been a great year for her. And honestly, I wouldn't be shocked if she doesn't become world champion for NXT Women's Champion or become premium roster in the next year.
Yeah, I could see her. We've already heard the rumors of her going to SmackDown. I think if she rides if she rides NXT out to like Evolution and then shows up on SmackDown the Friday after, I wouldn't be surprised.
Or even the draft. Like I wouldn't be up for the
Yeah.
draft. Like,
Oh yeah, because at this point they've had so many call ups that they got to save
mhm.
some for the draft.
Yeah, I agree.
Damn, this draft is gonna look crazy because like everyone who would have been obvious except for Trick and Jordan haven't been called, and the draft can't just be two people.
I mean, it could be out of NXT. That's the thing.
Yeah, yeah. True. Because if the rumors are true, and we get Mike Santana, we get Joe Hendry. That might be crazy.
Oh my God, we get Mike Santana.
Give me Mike Santana, Damian Priest tag team. I want that. I want that. Call them the
That
Wild
makes so
Boricuas or
much sense,
something.
actually.
Call them the Wild.
That would make so
Oh,
much sense.
bro, call them the Wild Boricuas. Fuck it. Throw Zelina Vega in. Let's make it a stable.
That's LA. That's exactly worse than LAX right now.
Oh my god, bro. No. And the thing that would be crazy, have them beef with Legado del Fantasma. Oh, speaking of which, shout out to Legado del Fantasma. We're probably not going to talk about the full event, but congrats to them for winning the AAA tag titles. Congrats. They won that on Sunday,
Congrats.
right?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. Put some respect on Legado del Fantasma's name. I've been telling y'all that Los Garza are some hoopers. I've been telling y'all that if they actually gave Santos Escobar some good material, that he could be one of the top heels in the company. I think with Drew being out for God knows how long, hey, Santos, they won't give it to him, but if they wanted to, if you need a great heel on Friday nights, Santos is right there.
Yeah, they're not gonna give it. Oh my God.
They're not. But let's wrap up NXT and let's talk about the Blake Monroe signing. So how yeah, I don't think I've actually talked to you about this like off camera. But how do you feel about the Blake Monroe, Mariah May, Blake Monroe acquisition and the new character change?
I think I think the Blake Monroe signing is great for WWE. I think I'm surprised she's on T. I'm gonna say it again, NXT. I
Hmm.
mean, I really can't be that surprised. But like, I think I think it was definitely with like the recent calls that NXT has had with like Roxanne Perez going up, so Stephanie McCare going up, Julia going up, being called up. That definitely left like a vacuum in
Hmm.
NXT for like a strong woman besides Jordan Grace. Like in like the strong like in-house people they've had. like I wouldn't be shocked if she comes in. Honestly, I think she's the one that beat JC Jane for the belt. I think whoever wins the fatal four way doesn't win it at Evolution. But I
Mm,
think we see Monet win it or
yeah,
get me caught up. Who knows?
I think. Yeah, I see JC Jane retaining at Evolution 2, and I see Blake being the real feud where she ends up losing, or at least
Hmm.
gives Blake something to do until she gets called up, like you were saying. But I
Yeah.
just feel like, first off, I will say in terms of just aesthetic and everything, the Blake Monroe Sabrina Carpenter parallels are really, really dope. They're really fun. It's really, really fun. I
Yeah.
hope that this
Hmm.
theme keeps going. Almost if they wanted to make her character like Sydney Sweeney like, I wouldn't be mad at it.
Mm. They all hitting that way. I feel like and I won't be
Yeah.
upset.
Um, there was a line, bro, that Mariah had said, not Mariah, that Blake had said during her promo. She said, "I've been waiting to jump in bed with the type of women in this division." That's when I was like, "Oh, there's no change.
Mhm.
There's no change. That's still, uh, uh,
Yeah,
it's
I
still the
saw that.
same." Yeah, that was hilarious. I'm excited to see how it goes, especially since it's an upward hill battle because obviously we know JC's got fatal influence, begs to differ. Which begs to differ. What the fuck are they gonna do with Fallon Henley?
Hmm.
Like we know that Jasmine Nix has kind of been relegated to the third man for a minute, but honestly, put Fallon Henley and Jasmine Nix together as a tag team, I could see them doing something.
Yeah, I no, I agree. I would think maybe like when Blake Monet wins it off of JC Jane, they get caught up as a trio,
Hmm.
and then I think like they do some sort of like mixture with like one of them goes back to the second titles and then tag titles. I would think,
Yeah,
but who knows?
kind of like how Shotzi, Gigi, and Tatum were.
But yeah.
Yeah,
Oh yeah. I think like a damn control before they got like before they gained like five people. I would see something like that.
yeah, I see what you're going for. Um, all right. So now let's jump the line a little bit. Let's talk about AEW Dynamite. They had where were they? They were at Grand Slam Mexico. Sorry, had
Yes.
lost
Hmm.
my train of thought there. They were at Grand Slam in Mexico, did the Mexico Arena. Shout out to Hangman, bro. Amazing promo, all in Spanish. He gave us not just a little bit of his past, talking about how he grew up speaking Spanish so well because he was raised on a tobacco farm, right?
Hmm.
Yeah. And honestly, Hangman has been carrying this feud between him and Moxley headed into All In because he's been giving solid promos basically for almost a month straight, and Moxley has yet to say anything or address anything about this beef,
Hmm.
other than just, hey, we're gonna hit each other when we see each other. That's essentially it.
Yeah. No. You're not wrong.
Um, oh, is your, let me ask you a question. Is your hype for this match waning the more as it goes on? Because mine is sort of struggling to be there. It's more so like I'm just happy to see Hangman doing something.
Okay. So I'm a bit on the fence on this.
Uh-huh.
I think I'm happy that Hangman has something that's not elite related. Right. I hate the fact that like they always seem to be tied up into something the entire time. Like
Yeah.
like like some sort of combination. They're always tied up together. But at the same time, do I think he's gonna win it?
Uh-huh.
No. No, I don't think so. Because I said this from the get-go. I think Darby Allin's the one to defeat John Moxley. And I think we see Darby Allin coming back. So like
If I could see Darby coming back at all in.
my yeah, like I think this is gonna be a great match? Yes. Moxie's great. Hangman, great. However, I really don't care for because like the death also just the death fight in general, I'm so over it. Like John Moxley needs to go away and take like a year-long break.
Yeah,
Like he never had the break he needed, and I'm burnt out of him. Like,
bro. So the thing about, and I was telling this to Reek, I think last episode, bro. It doesn't even look like Moxley is interested in it. It doesn't like he does not care for real. Like he whether it's the fact that he doesn't hold the belt and it's locked in a briefcase to just the look of expression on his face, there really is what character work is there other than just I'm Mox. This is the Death
it's
Rider.
it's giving Dean it's giving Dean Ambrose before he left WWE.
Yeah, yeah.
Uh, yeah, and I don't know when his contract is up. I don't really file a contract like that until like once the way is firing. But
Uh,
like he needs out. I think like with this is the downfall of AEW is they like those storytelling goes so long that by the time it like pays off, it doesn't really pay off. People lose interest, both as
yeah.
fans and as wrestlers.
And the
And
same can
then
be
at the
said on the
same
other
time,
side of the line with Triple H's long term storytelling. Sometimes there are certain things that
yeah,
don't need to be all that long term.
mm, yeah, and I agree with that. Also, but AEW also loves to like undo storytelling so fast. Like we like Hangman for example, Hangman and Swerve. We just finished up with them like what 6 months
Less than a
ago.
year ago. Yeah.
Yeah, and then now that Hangman's back in the world title picture, he's like he's like everything should be okay with that with him and Swerve. Like I know Swerve doesn't think so, but like I don't know, like it gets so confusing to watch sometimes. It's tiring. I could imagine being like Moxley also in the storylines.
Bro, it's insane. But shout out to Hangman for the dope promo and for carrying this feud so far.
Yeah.
Then we have a 14-man tag match.
Oh
I,
God.
I, I'm gonna try my hardest to list off everybody in this tag match. Um, Tony Khan, I just want to know what possessed you to put this together. Um, the 14-man tag match. Let's see. Give me a second. But honestly, it wasn't like no, I can't even sit there and say that wasn't as bad as I thought it was gonna be because I was just confused. I was like, how is this gonna work? There's too many chefs in the kitchen. There's just like a lot going on here.
Hmm.
Like so much. Okay, I finally have all the names. It was Bandito, Adam Cole. Adam Cole, please come back to WWE. Daniel Garcia, Brody King. Shout out Brody King for wearing the fuck ice shirt. Templario,
That's
Atlantis,
the
and
best moment of the
Atlantis
match.
Jr. Oh yeah, that was the best part of the match. Um, it was the seven of them versus Konosuke Keshta, Kyle Fletcher, Lance Archer, Josh Alexander, Hechicero, apologies if I mispronounced that, Dax Harwood, and Volador Jr. Brother, brother, brother.
So pointless.
You, it was. This was basically anarchy in the arena.
This was the response to Wars of Clyde.
Yeah, and it's like, son, there was no need for this. There was no need for all these people to be in the ring.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think anyone really looked good during this match. That, I don't think anyone came out victorious. I couldn't even tell you, like, who, oh, uh, Atlantis caught Dax with a small package. Yeah, that was how he got the win. So I can tell you who got the win,
I, could,
but
I couldn't tell you that.
there, I remember, and I literally texted you. I left for 2 minutes, and I completely lost all direction in the match. I completely lost all
I was
all direction in the match.
I I I, I was watching the entire time and I couldn't tell you from the start like what was going on. Like I like multi-man matches are fun, right? So
Yeah,
fun. Definitely when they're like interleaving like rivalries and storylines with each other. Like those are the best kind of multi-man matches. But when you
exactly.
have 14 men in the match, and I don't know, I don't know if there was a lot of beef happening in that match at all with some of the rivalries, but like it was so
There was a
pointless to
few,
me.
but there was a few, but not enough that like you couldn't just have two 6-man matches on the card.
Yeah.
Um, Oi. Then we have Kazuchika Okada going up against Mark Briscoe, and we gotta stop feeding Mark Briscoe to the wolves, bro. The,
Hmm.
like it's one of those things where like I knew again the theme of today is predictability. I knew, especially he practically killed Kenny last week. Oh my God, they killed Kenny! Like this is I thought it was a South Park episode. And then you want to tell me that Mark Briscoe is gonna be the one to potentially inherit the beef and get his get back for it? It did nothing except make Okada look dominant, which you had already done by again practically killing Kenny
Hmm.
last week. Now,
Yeah,
if Kenny
no.
came back or it had done something, then I would have been like, all right, I get it. This was a setup just so Kenny could show that he's still, you know, willing to get in the ring and willing to do it. But that wasn't the point. So we're just feeding people to the wolves. Cool. That cool.
Hmm.
Just say that. Um, onto a match I actually really did enjoy. MJF versus Mystico. I enjoyed it. I thought it was cool. Um, this MJF and the Hurt Syndicate storyline is going off better than I thought it was going to be. They meshed together really, really well. I'm enjoying it, except for the fact of I don't think we've seen. Well, this is the first match we've seen MJF in the ring since he joined, right? So, like, yeah.
Yeah.
So it's still early, but shout out to Mystico. This was a really, really fun match. When MJF unmasked, bro, and then everybody from the CMLL locker room scene like came to back him up, plus Bandito. I was like, this is solidarity. I love it. I love
Hmm.
because this one it took you from like a oh I don't really care that much because the most highlight from this little feud that they set up for this was when MJF had called Mystico Sin Cara, which that was hilarious. Um, but this was probably the most invested I was before yeah, this is probably like the most invested I was in this. Now, I'm gonna
Yeah.
let you pick because we gotta round things out real quick. Do you want to talk about Mercedes and Zeuxis, or do you want to talk about the 10-man tag? You can pick what we end on.
Honestly, stuff. I wasn't lying when I said I turned it off halfway through the MJF match. So like I didn't realize it was a 10-man match. So like let's talk about the
Let's talk about Mercedes.
Mercedes. Yeah, let's talk about all.
All right, so Mercedes Monet went up against Zeuxis for the CMLL Women's Championship. Let me double check that just to make sure I got
Yep,
the right title.
that's right.
Yeah, so brr, 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 brr. Honestly, really, really fun match. One that to be so for real, I did not expect for Mercedes to win. Like, I really, I real deal Holyfield thought that she was gonna like lose. It was like as she was gonna lose, keep it moving, help strengthen the relationship between CMLL and AEW. But
Hmm.
then I think like 30 minutes before the match happened, I texted the group chat that me and Caesar and I said, Sears. What are the chances that she becomes six belts today? And Sia said, very, very likely. I was like, fuck. Now, let me tell you guys how I view Sears when it comes to prediction. This motherfucker might as well be the orc because the way
I
how
see
whenever
y'all.
I ask,
I see y'all.
he's a figure eight ball. He's a crystal eight ball, bro. Whenever you shake, oh my god, that's that's what he is. And so as soon as he said that, I was like, fuck. And then he said, Tony loves giving her belts. I was like, damn, you're right. And now, mind you, I love the fact that Mercedes is belt collecting. I love seeing her be this strong, dominant champion. However,
Hmm.
something has to give for the result that I want for the long game. Something has to give if she's going to win against
Hmm.
Tony. So I was like, okay, if let's say she wins this belt, cool. She's got to give up the TBS title. That would be the first one I would assume that she would defend and give up
Hmm.
because it's the righteous progression. Now, how they're going to clarify and make sense of, oh, she can she loses the defense against the TBS title, but she can win the AEW Women's Championship. That's not for me to figure out. That's for Tony to figure out. But it was what made sense in my mind. So, man, this was a good match. It was a really good, really fun match. The only thing
It
that kind of
was.
annoys me is how is the end. It's the end with Tony Storm and the lead in because Mercedes having this moment. She's celebrating the six belts full name and all this. Tony comes. No, did Tony come out from the ramp or did she come out from behind?
The ring, I think. I think Monet was looking at the back, like
Uh,
from like away from the ramp, and Tony came from the ramp.
yeah, okay. And so she runs up on Mercedes, and now granted, I get it. And this isn't even just a particularly for this feud thing. This is for uh all of her recent character moves or her recent character work thing. Mercedes being a chicken shit heel doesn't make sense with the belt collector gimmick. It doesn't
Hmm.
it doesn't make the most sense because
Yeah.
having her run from having her run from Tony, all these having her run from a lot of people actually, for being so for real. If you want to talk about like the like past, let's say year of her work, it doesn't make sense from a character perspective because you're automatically not being seen as dominant. And especially when you watch these matches and you keep seeing
Hmm.
her show up and you keep seeing her win through these random roll ups and things like that. While yes, it makes sense because she is a heel. At some point, someone's gonna have to catch on, and I think if that ends up being Tony, I would not be mad at it. But what did you think?
Well, I agree it was a good match. I think it was. I mean, two good competitors. Most nine times out of ten, you're gonna have a good match. I'm not the biggest fan of the six belt Monet Taylor Collector. I said before, I think three's the max you can do without it becoming a nuisance to
Yeah.
to not only the wrestle and the story they're trying to tell, but also
Uh,
the industry itself. But at this point in time, half of the independent, like half of the, well, like most, like a good amount of like the small promotion titles are now tied around AEW's World Wrestling title official. So like, and I don't know how often she's defending, but it seems like it's not a lot. So like, what's the point of these like small companies doing business when they're going to take a belt, put it on an AEW wrestler who's great, and not defend them? Like,
uh,
it's a bit upsetting to see, but and then like, and I think she is going to be Tony. I think she's beating Tony. But like, and then she's gonna have to lose them. Then she's gonna have to lose five, six times in a row
yeah.
to let go of these belts.
It's
She's gonna
long
lose
term
so much
build presents
credibility.
nothing but long term problems.
Yeah. Like eventually, he's gonna lose like 5 times in a row to lose those belts.
Yeah. All
Like
right, man.
yeah, I wish he got in a field one and he didn't win, but that's the only problem.
That's fair. All right, real quick, because I can already tell that we are about to get rushed up out of here. I just want to say thank you guys to everybody for listening. Thank you, Sears, for coming on. I hope that you all have a great time. Appreciate you. It's the EST of the DMV. It is your boy, Jeff Sears. Any last little goodbyes?
Peace out, y'all.
Deuces.
But we still gon' drink up. But the all I think, but we still gon' link up.